Hello everyone, this is a new test with carbon zinc cell. It's a new mixture, a new batch that I made with on a carbon fiber, and for anode is a zinc plate, really old one, normal filter paper as a separator, and the electrolyte is just a salt solution. I've just plugged it without charging it, and already the results are promising. It's running pretty well, having in consideration that I did not charge the cell, but just wanted to see what juice has inside, straight from the building the cell, and we'll see for how long it will run. Till now it's performing pretty well for what it is. And I'll come back a little bit later with when the discharging process is finished. We are now on 8 minutes since I start discharging the cell. Still has 0.745 of a volt, and is dropping really slowly, nice and slowly. We will see after a few charges, 3-4 charge cycles, how well it will perform, how it will look, and if we can go further with any work on this type of cell. I'll come back a little bit later. Five minutes later, we still have 0.7 of a volt, 13 minutes running, 2 milliamperes hour, 2 milliwatts hour. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to present you how I made this carbon, the binder, and the carbons that I used, and also I will present you the method. I believe that the method of preparation is more important than the actual recipe, the amounts, because without the right method you will not achieve the best result, even if you have found the correct amounts and the right recipe. Following a good method ensures you good results. Almost 15 minutes of running, it's holding well at 0.7 volts. And the discharging curve looks really, really nice. I had to come back a little bit early to show this. It's now on 17 minutes. It's still on 0.7 of a volt. Didn't drop not even 100th part of a volt at all. He's running pretty good. This method of preparing the binder and the carbons are also presented by Kev Wallcroft in one of his videos. Is based on a recipe and the method given to us by Peter Middleton. I hope I'm not pronouncing the name wrong. I hope I'm remembering correctly. And looks like has very good physical properties. It's not very elastic, but the most important property that it has is very microporous. Literally, when I'm dropping the electrolyte, it's within 1 second immediately absorbed in the carbon, which is really important for having electrolyte soaked into the carbon. Thank you, Kev. Thank you for everything that you did for us. Honestly, I really hope you will change your mind, but in the same time, I respect your decision. And all I wish you to, wherever you will be and you will do, I wish you to be healthy and happy. That's all it matters. Thank you, Kev. Yeah, it's still holding at 0.7 volts. And I'm still holding the phone with my hand. I haven't received the phone holder. Now the voltage is increasing. Not much, but it's increasing. Dropping. That's nice. And that's not nice. Sorry. Screensaver. Yeah, 20 minutes of running. Holding at 0.7. Maybe by the end it's just a 0.7 volts cell. Although it started from 1.25. Again the voltage is increasing. Not much. But that's a good sign. See you shortly. It's running pretty well. 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes, and the voltage increased to 0.709 of a volt. Performing really well. Now we have 5 milliampere hours and 4 milliwatts hour. So excited. Because it looks like it's going to take longer than I initially expected. I will try to prepare now all the details for the recipe, for the method of preparation, and I'll present them to you while this is still discharging. I'll come back a little bit later. the voltage increase to 0.717 of a volt. 35 minutes of running. 6 milliampere hours. 4 watts hour. Looking good. Holding very, very well. Yeah, and I was saying that I will present you the recipe and the method. So here it is. For the binder, you have 100 milliliters deionized water, 2 grams of CMC, 1 gram of SBR, between 40 and 70 grams of active material. I used 50. For the active material, as percentages, I tend to use between 70 and 80% activated carbon, or a mixture of activated carbon with carbon black. But I think even activated carbon will be more than enough. I used 30 grams of these. 15 to 25% graphite for better conductivity. In my case, I use 15 grams. 1 to 5% Ketgen 600. 1% glycerin. All these kept wet in the electrolyte will give you a very, very good boost for from the beginning. In 50 grams of active material, I tend to use 10 milliliters of electrolyte. Yeah. For the method, as Peter Middleton presented in very, very detailed. First, 100 milliliters of water kept. I have here just 50 for this recipe that I'm going to do. You mix the CMC 2 grams with 100 milliliters of water kept at the room temperature, and you let it sit for about 2 hours. This one is from last night. Now is 10 AM, and if I'll try it, will not dry, will not. It's like a nice gel. In this lovely smooth gel, then you'll add the active material, blend them very, very well, and let again sit for 1 hour or 2. This way you'll have the CMC that soaked all the water with the active material blended, and they will form really, really good small, I don't want to call them molecules, but small particles that are binding together very, very nicely. After you let this the mixture sit for about 2 hours, then add 1 gram of CMC. I use of SBR. I use this one just for the simple reason that I was able to buy it 1 liter, not 5 or I don't know how, 25 liters of SBR. And if it's difficult to measure exactly 1 gram of SBR, use a small dropper, and with this you can add about 2 milliliters. And that is the entire method of preparation. It's very important to keep the active material pre-wet in the electrolyte, just to have it dump, not liquid form, just to have it dump, like a wet sand. Will give you a very good boost from the beginning. As you can see now, I just made this cell and is running pretty well from the beginning. And again, screensaver, thank you. Is now on 0.7 to 5, 40 minutes of running. And I believe the secret for running this well from the beginning without even charging it is the fact that I had the active material kept pre-wet in the electrolyte. If you keep the active material pre-wet, I don't know, for 2 hours before mixing it with the CMC, will be more than enough. This is how I do it. Yeah, and pretty much that's it. This is the recipe and the method of preparation of this Discharging cell. As for the electrolyte, in this case I used a mixture of magnesium Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, and magnesium chloride, as the ratio is 1 to 2, 1 part magnesium sulfate and 2 parts magnesium chloride, all in maybe 100 milliliters of water. I don't know, I haven't measured. Usually I add water, then mix it. If it's not fully dissolved, then I add a little bit more water, then I mix it, and I'll do that till I'll make sure that the entire salt solution dissolves properly. Yeah, and this is it. For the moment the voltage is increasing, it's on 0.7 to 8, 43 minutes of running, 7 milliamp hour, 5 milliwatts hour, looking good. I'll come back a little bit later when we'll be finished. I'll come back with small updates every now and then, because it looks like it's going to take quite a while. So we have now almost 1 hour of running, 58 minutes. The voltage increased to 0.742. It's running steadily. My electronic load is ZKE EBD USB. Can find it pretty easy on eBay. Probably will come from Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, from somewhere there. I will try to find a link where you can download the software for this. It's not easy to find it, but once you have it, will give you a very good tool of monitoring the performance of the battery, of the cells that you are building. Till now I was using small motors, but as any inductive load, you can't control, you can't monitor, you can't measure exactly the amount of energy that will draw from the battery. Roughly a month ago I built another cell and was able to run a small motor for 6 hours, but I can only estimate what was the exactly capacity of that cell that I built. I don't have exact numbers, exact figures. Now I can look and see my battery has 10 milliamp hours, 7 milliwatts hour. I can monitor exactly the time, and I don't even need to watch all the time the cell, because in the end, even if it finishes and I'm not here, I will have the end report, which will be very, very helpful. More than that, I don't even need to be at home. I can do it remotely through TeamViewer. So it's a very helpful tool, this electronic load. Voltage increased again, 1 hour. Looking good. Now we are on 1 hour and a quarter, 1 hour and 16 minutes. Looks like he's providing consistently 0.747. Doesn't give any signs of dropping down. The way I made this cathode, literally just cut a piece of carbon fiber from this. I don't know if I can focus there. It is a very, very porous material. Yep, it's a 3 millimeters thick carbon fiber. Again, can be found easily on eBay. So I'm cutting from that carbon fiber a piece, and then I'm just dipping in the ink activated material as I built it. The active material is not very gelish, but still it's not very watery. Every now and then, if it will sit, just give it a good mix before using it. So make sure you have a good dispersion of all the components. And then I'll just hang it and drying it. Yep, that's it. Very simple way of preparation and making it this cell. As you can see in my small little lab, and when I say small, it is really, really small. It is actually my dressing room. Yep, this is the entrance. And that's all it is. Small but warm lab workshop. It's full of drawers, chemicals, more chemicals, tools, an oscilloscope, my 3D printer, which I use it as a heated bed, books, drawers. It's fully packed. Looks like very disorganized, but actually it's a very, very organized chaos. Coming back to our cell. Running well. 1 hour and 21 minutes. Still 0.747 of a volt. 14 milliamp hours, 10 milliwatt hour. Looking good. Looking good. I'll be back shortly. We are now on 1 hour and a half running time. Still 0.747 of a volt, and I'm still holding the phone in my hand. I was hoping that the time is 10:57. I was hoping that my phone holder will arrive today. Looks like not. Yeah. The dimensions of this cell. .5 per 3.5 centimeters. Not bad. The voltage increased and is increasing, and I'm not touching it anymore. Yeah, probably just a lonely battery that needed touch, a human touch. As I was saying, 7.5 I believe is around 8-9 square centimeters. I don't have a calculator nearby. Oh no, I do have. .875 square centimeters. As a weight, I think it has around 3 grams active material. And till now 15 milliamp hours, 11 milliwatts hour. Looking good. I'm going to stop this video now because it's already too long for my standards, and I'm going to make a new video, part 2, when this discharge process will finish. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, or if you have any questions or comments, those are more than welcome. Never stop learning. See ya.